Hello students, how are you all? So in the previous class we were studying about the different types of motion like rectilinear motion, circular motion, rotational motion, periodic motion. Okay. So now we will discuss something different. Alright, so see, the first topic which we are having is speed. So we know that first of all you have to tell me what do you understand by speed. So who is going to tell me? I will give you 30 seconds for that, and one by one you can come up and you can tell me about the speed. Yes. So student, what is speed? General formula, if you have known about the general formula, or we can say that speed is nothing. Let's suppose this is a bicycle and you are driving on it. Okay, so this is a bicycle and there is one car. This is your car. Okay, now we have studied the concept of speed or slow and fast. Okay, so we have studied in the previous class that this car is slow because it takes more time. Yes, so we can say that speed, if the speed is more, then it will take less time, and if speed is less, then it will take more time to reach a particular distance. Okay, so student, now you have to tell me, let's suppose this is a point A and this is the point B. Okay, now the bicycle will also start traveling and car will also travel from A to B. Now you have to tell me which will reach faster and why. Yes, so student, we can say that car will reach the distance of B much faster than the bicycle. So if the car reaches B faster, then we know that time will be less for car and time will be more for the bicycle. So time taken by car will be more than the time taken by bicycle. So this is the simple concept of speed, that if any object who is moving faster will travel in less interval of time, and any object who is moving slower will reach to the position in more time. Okay, so now we will discuss one more example, that if we say that bus is moving with 25 km/h, it means what? That means if bus has started from the position A and it has ended the position B, that means in the complete path from A to B, the speed of bus was 25 km/h. Okay, so we can say that in 1 hour this bus traveled 25 km. This is the conclusion that we are getting from this statement. Okay, now let's move further, that there is some formula also. Speed equals to distance upon time. We know that more the speed, lesser the time. Okay, so if a car travels a distance of 100 km in 2 hours, then the speed of the car is given by 100 by 2, that is 50 km/h. So from this question also we come to know that this car can travel 50 kilometer in 1 hour. Okay, yes or no? Now the question arises that it shows that the car will travel a distance of 50 km in 1 hour. It does not matter if a car seldom moves with the constant speed for 1 hour, as it starts moving slowly and then picks up the speed. So when we say the car is moving with the speed of 50 km per hour, then we do not bother whether the car has been moving with constant speed or not during that hour. Therefore, the speed calculated here is the average speed of the car. So dear student, see, when we start our car or any vehicle, we all know that there will be some jam in the marketplace. Okay, so there the car will be slowed down, then again there will be no jam, the road will be free, then there we can increase the speed. So from this we can say that a car or any vehicle cannot move with a constant speed in a daily routine like. Okay, so when we say 50 km per hour in 1 hour, that does not mean that starting till end the speed was the same, that is 25 km per hour. No, it is not the concept. Basically when we are talking about the speed from position A to B, we are generally talking about the speed that is average speed. Okay, that is average speed. Okay, so we do not bother about the thing that we have traveled very slowly in the beginning and in the middle also. So basically when we talk about the speed, we talk about the average speed of a car, vehicle, motorcycle, anything. Now when we say that speed of the bike is 50 km per hour, it means that we calculate dash the speed. Is it the actual speed or average speed? Who will tell me? So 30 seconds is allotted to you to find the correct answer. Is it the actual speed or average speed? So student, we have studied just now also that when we talk about the speed of bike, so the bike is not traveling always with a constant speed. So there is sometimes fluctuation in the speed also. Okay, so it is the average speed. So moving forward, yes, so here we have to study now about the uniform and non-uniform motion. Okay, what does uniform speed means and what does non-uniform speed means? So this image, first of all we will analyze this image, and for that I will give you 30 seconds and you have to analyze whether it is uniform speed or non-uniform speed given in this image. Okay student, so we can see that at the time of 0 second the car was at 0 meter. Now at the time of 1 second the car is at 4 meter. So the distance traveled by the car is 4 meter in 1 second. Now in the next section, what we can see that in the next 1 second it has traveled 6 meter in 1 second, and here we can say in the next 1 second it has traveled 3 meter, and in the next 1 second we can say it has traveled 5 meter. So see, at every equal timing, the distance covered by the car is different. So what type of speed can we say about this car? Is it a uniform type or non-uniform type? Yes. Okay, so these are non-uniform speed. Why we call that? Because there are different speed in the equal interval of time. So let's suppose if from A to B, then from C, from D, the car is covering 2 meter, 4 meter, 6 meter, 8 meter, 10 meter, like this it is covering. Okay, just in 1 second, gap of 1 second. So we can say here it is also 2 meter, here it is also 2 meter, here it is also of 2 meter, and in this place also it is of 2 meter. So such speed is known as uniform speed. That means equal interval of distance is covered in equal interval of time. Okay, so moving forward, in everyday life we seldom find object moving with the constant speed over long distance or for long duration of time. If the speed of a changing object along a straight line keep changing, its motion is called non-uniform motion. Okay, so the speed of the object is changing. Such motion is known as non-uniform motion. On the other hand, the object moving along a straight line with a constant speed is known as uniform motion. Now we will discuss about the unit of speed. So according to the distance or our sahuliyat, we can say, we can calculate the speed in different units. Okay, so the standard unit is meter per second. Okay, now if we want to express the large values of speed, so it can be expressed in kilometer per hour, and in this case the distance traveled is measured in the kilometer and time taken is measured in 1 hour. Okay, now if we are measuring very small values, then the small values of speed are expressed in the centimeters per second, and in this case the centimeter traveled in the terms of centimeter and time is taken in the term of seconds. So we can use the unit of speed in the three different factors, like meter per second, that is the standard unit. Then for the larger larger values, we can take kilometer per hour, and for the smaller unit we can take centimeter per second. Okay, now if the speed of an object moving along a straight line keep changing, its motion is called yes, we have studied now only if the speed of an object moving along a straight line keep changing, its motion is called uniform motion or non-uniform motion, because we can say here that the speed is changing constantly. So basically it is non-uniform motion. Now students, see, if you did not have a clock, how would you decide what time of the day today is or now it is? So in nowadays time there are different types of clock, pendulum clocks, wall clock, digital clock is there. Okay, so this is a pendulum clock or a wall clock, yes, and this is a table clock. And nowadays, due to the advancement in the technology, we have digital clock also. Okay, so see student, in olden days the people used to see the changing position of sun and moon so that they can identify the time. So duration of the moment in which things occur is known as time. With the help of clocks and watches, we generally measure time. It is very difficult to think how did the people in the ancient time measures as they did not have any clock or watches. Okay students? Now, in order to measure the time, ancient people used some natural events which is repeatedly regular after fixed interval of time. They found that sun rises every day in the morning, so the time between one sunrise and the next one was known as one day. In a similar manner, time from one full moon to the next full moon is known as 1 month. So these things you have to remember. What is one day? That is from sunrise to next sunrise. This is one day. And 1 month was known for the one full moon to next full moon. This is known as 1 month. So these techniques were utilized by the earlier people, okay, to determine the time. So here we can see the different type of clock which were used by the ancient people. So you have to observe this clock and you have to tell me. I will give you 30 seconds of that. Okay. Yes, student. So we can see the first one is sundial, and this was used to determine the time by knowing its shadow, length of the shadow. Okay. And second one is water clock, that is of Clepstra, and it is a sand clock. So there were many more clocks that was used by the ancient people, but we have only the sundial clock, the water clock and sand clock. Okay. Now see, the sundial measures the time by position of shadow cast by the sun. Okay. So sundial can measure the timing by the shadow formed. The device which uses the flow of sand from one glass tube to the another glass in order to measure the time is called sand clock. The device which uses the rate at which water drips from one vesicle to another measure time interval is known as water clock. Okay, so you have to remember sundial by shadow method, and this sand clock by sand method, and this one the water was by the water method, dripping of water. So you have to answer this question, students. What are the different ways to measure the time in the olden days? So we have discussed right now only, so you have to tell me the answer about it. I will give you 30 seconds to think about the answer, then I will answer it. Yes, students. So there were different types of clock, like what were their clocks? Sundials. Second was water clock, and third was sand clock. Sundials, water clock and sand clocks. These are the three different type of clock which help in the measurement of time in the olden days. So now student, we will recap the things whatever we have studied. So in today's class we have studied about the speed, the uniform and non-uniform motion of the time. So let us quickly revise the question. When we say 50 km per hour, it means that we calculate dash speed. Is it actual speed or average speed? So we have studied it is the average speed. Uniform speed of car will cover equal distance in equal interval of time. It is true. What are the different devices to measure the time in the olden days? So we were having sundials, water clock. Okay, so they can help in measuring the time in the olden days. So now you have to make one homework. You have to make a chart to show different types of clock in the modern days and in the olden days. If the distance is 50 meter, time taken is 25 seconds, then find the speed of the person. So student, this was all for now. We will meet in the next class. Till then, be happy, be strong, be keep on smiling. Bye bye. Thank you everyone.